My earliest memory of a horse is a horse biting me in the ass. You might have to cut that out. Sorry.
Never.
That's my earliest memory of a horse, literally in the ass.
Why? What
I was little. I was bending over a fence trying to scratch his shoulder, and he bit my butt. I think there's a softness that women can have that is so powerful and really has influence in a completely different way, in a good way, that I've seen succeed time and time again. And I see a lot of female business owners who identify as, female and feminine, try to squelch that and try to be something a little different in order to succeed.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Through with a Splash of Tea, a podcast where conversation is key. So today we have a very special guest, Rebecca. And I'm going to tell you guys all about Rebecca because it's so cool. Like everything just listen. So today's guest is somebody who truly lives on the intersection of passion, purpose, and horsepower, like literally. Rebecca is a lifelong animal lover, a proud Massachusetts native, and a longtime Colorado girl who now splits her time between the Western Slope and the South Shore. She's the founder of Wild Palomino, a marketing business that she's been running since 2011. And more recently, the heart behind Cowgirl Up Horses, a woman-owned and operated business dedicated to connecting horses and humans with safe and reliable transportation across the country. I can't wait to dive into her story with you guys. I know a little bit about it, but I'm super excited to dive into it. But first things first, I have to thank you, Rebecca, for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. I'm so excited because learning about you, I was like, wait, what? Like, I love learning about people, like doing my own research. And I'm like, how did this person even like think of this? Or like, oh, okay. And that was very much your story. Okay, so I need to start from the very beginning. I love to start from the beginning. So I need to know, I'd like to know, like, where did your love for horses originate? Like or animals in general, like growing up, were they always around? Like, what's the dynamic of your household growing up?
Yeah. We were animal lovers growing up for sure. We had a big blind golden retriever named Ernie who had one eye and followed another puppy around by his tail.
Yes.
My grandmother was a huge influence in my life, and she always had cats. She had this huge calico colored cat. That's a lot of C's.
Try to say that 4 times fast.
She called him Mother Cat, and she had kittens all the time. And my family was always around horses. My mom's side of the family was always around horses. And so I grew up riding with now a really good friend of mine that taught me to ride since I was a kid. And I fell in love with horses right away. They were really, really healing in my life.
I have a random question.
Yeah.
Because I recently learned this.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a thing that wears... I shouldn't ask the question.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you I saw someone do this on TikTok and I was like, oh my goodness, this is cute. Can you ride bareback?
It's awesome.
That means no saddle.
No saddle.
That means no saddle, guys.
Saddle.
You can do that?
Yeah. It's great. It's really fun. It's a little bit harder with like balance. And all that, but it's amazing. You can really feel the horse. They actually use it in like equine therapy for people that have hip problems, or
really?
They might have like cerebral palsy or other sorts of things where they need to like find the movement of their body. They actually put a person on a horse bareback because their legs move and it moves their body in the same way. It's pretty cool.
So
and they have a connection with the animal and all that too.
What's your earliest memory of riding?
My earliest memory of a horse is a horse biting me in the ass. You might have to cut that out. Sorry.
Never.
That's my earliest memory of a horse, literally in the ass.
Wait, why? What
I was little. I was bending over a fence trying to scratch his shoulder, and he bit my butt. I had a big bruise. I was like, I love you.
You must love me too. Oh my gosh, that's gold. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, we used to go up to Troy, New Hampshire. There's a little place called the Inn at the East Hill Farm. Mm-hmm. It's still around, and they do a great job. But we go up there, a couple of times in a few years and trail ride. There would be horses there, and chickens and pigs and all kinds of stuff that you don't really find much of, around the Boston area. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. My sister is 35 now, and she and her boyfriend still go there like on an annual basis to go visit the chickens and the pigs and the horses.
Your parents did such a good job keeping you guys like around horses or just around animals. Like, why was it so important for them? Do you know?
I think my family always had a connection with animals for sure. They wanted us to have that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they did a really good job. They invested a lot of time, and it's not cheap to do that stuff. No. Yeah. And I come from a pretty modest background. And so they made it work, which was really cool.
Okay. We need to talk about going from Mass to Colorado.
Yeah.
Wait, but I think I want to stay in Mass a little bit. Okay. Let's talk about Mass a little bit.
Okay.
Because born and raised in Scituate?
Born and raised in Scituate.
Born and raised in Scituate, like the horse fam, which I love.
Yep.
Always like visiting horses and wildlife. Did we do college in Massachusetts?
Yep. Not far from here. I went to college at Clark in Worcester.
Literally not far from here. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. We're in Framingham, guys.
Yeah. It's right down the street.
Literally. Okay. So after college, what was the headspace? What was the mind? And then when did we get to Colorado?
Yeah. So I went to school in Worcester. I worked on an ambulance full time during school. I actually worked out of Marlboro. I was in Framingham all the time. And studied psychology. And after college, I was dating a guy that was from Colorado, and we ended up going back there for a while to kind of check it out. I totally fell in love with the mountains, really the mountains, and just the open space and the adventure. And I kind of settled there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Broke up with the guy, but stayed with the space. As it goes.
Truly. The story for many of us. Oh my gosh.
It brought me out there, which I'm grateful for.
So when you got to Colorado, what was like the game plan? What were you doing for like work and stuff?
I studied psychology and molecular biology in school. And so I got a job at a lab, like a science lab right out of college. So I was using little pipette men and like, moving small amounts of fluid from one thing to another. I hated it. It was so boring, and there was nobody to talk to. I love people. I'm a people person. And I was like, I don't think I could do this. But it was the company that I worked for at the time was a really small group. It was a startup. And so it was my first introduction to entrepreneurship and startups. And I quickly moved from like just laboratory to project management and business development and marketing. And it wasn't something I studied in college, but it's really the people. It's just, I love the people. I love connecting people. And so I moved right into that from that job. And the startup environment was so cool, and it was an area. Colorado is one of the big areas for startups, and people just had like this amazing energy, and they were bold and taking chances and going for it. And I was like, I like this. I like this. I'm gonna put this pipette bed down. It's not for me. I'm not that smart.
Don't fool you. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. So that was your true introduction to like marketing and being with people and community in the workspace.
Yeah. Yeah. That first job, it was like a group of scientists and a group of engineers, and they do not speak the same language at all. It's like two completely different languages, and they just think different. Yeah. Both like brilliant, but like totally nerdy in their own way. Yeah. And just like don't communicate. And I started being the in-between like to help translate what needed to happen from one piece of the project to another piece. And I loved it. It was just like, I really, I loved seeing the way different people thought and helping to like bring it together so everybody get on the same page. And I kind of felt a groove in that, I think, and I loved it.
Okay. So how does that and then what happened? Yeah. Can't even ask it. I'm like, what happened after?
So I stepped pretty fully into marketing after that. I worked in a couple different industries. I worked in like the yoga industry and the wellness industry for a while. I worked in events and outdoor sports for a while. I kind of, it's in the startup world and really in marketing and sales. A lot of times when you're working for other companies, it's like maybe a year to 3 years. And then you kind of switch to the next company as part of it for a lot of different reasons. But that was okay with me. It was like, okay, well, this is just, we're going to change it up every couple of years. That's all right. And sometimes it's, mergers and acquisitions happen. Sometimes there's startups that don't make it for sure. And sometimes I was kind of climbing the ladder. So looking for, bigger opportunities every time. So, but it was cool because I got to see a lot of different industries and a lot of different businesses. And, yeah, I loved it. And then the first business I started was a yoga studio, just north of Boulder, in a town called Lyons. Yeah, Lyons, Colorado. There are a lot of mountain lions in the area, but it's actually spelled different.
L-Y?
L-Y. Oh. Yeah. Yep. But I lived there for about 15 years, almost, maybe a little less, and started my first business there, and I loved it. I learned a lot, and a ton. You make mistakes, you recover from them, you have successes, all kinds of things happen. But that was my first business. I started and ran that while I was working, full time for companies, for other companies. And yeah, I learned a ton. We had a really big flood in that town when I lived there. It's a really sweet community. It's a very special place, pretty magical place.
How was it? You closed this business down?
I did. Yep. I stayed open for 6 or 7 years. Wow. We survived a natural disaster, a flood. We actually became a center where we would, like National Guard came and basically kept everybody out of the town because there was chaos that happens after natural disasters. And I would go out of town and bring like body workers and massage therapists and all that in and kind of smuggle them in. Yes. And then we would set up shop at the studio because all the businesses were shut down. I mean, really, there was no electricity, no water, no nothing for several months while we kind of recovered. Everything had to be put back together. It was pretty bad flood. Wasn't that great? It was not that great. It was not that great. Damn. But it was really traumatic. I mean, understandably for a lot of people. So, a lot of destruction. And so these folks would volunteer their time to come and work on people's bodies and energies, and either people that had gone through the flood, or also we had like FEMA workers and National Guard was there. We had thousands of volunteers from all over the world. Literally, we had people coming from Israel and other countries to help. And so they work on them too, to like help keep everybody. It was pretty cool. It was definitely like a very gratifying way to facilitate a space, or, ways for people to help each other, and using small business for that. It was cool. I would not want to live through the flood again. Yeah. But I wouldn't give it up. So I wouldn't give up the experience.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. Like, oh my gosh, facilitate something like that. Like, because I don't think we think about it enough. Like, yeah, we have these people that are our first responders that are always helping and are always out. But like, who takes care of their bodies when they go home, and like, it's a single man or a single woman, like, or even if like their spouse is too, like, just who, like, and to provide that service. And as they keep, like you said, it was for a month, like, damn.
Yeah, it took a while to recover. It really did. It was really cool to see the power of community, like a lot of people, this is what I saw. A lot of people wanted to help, but they really didn't know how, and I think that happens a lot where like people really want to help. People are good inherently. That's what I believe. And people mostly want to help. And so sometimes they just need a way to do it. Yeah. And it was cool to see that. It was like very gratifying to see that. And everybody felt good. You know, the people that received the help and the people that gave the help. Like it was so good all around. So really, it was probably one of the best like chapters of my life in a lot of ways.
So fulfilling.
Yeah. Even though, you know, it was a flood.
Literally. The root of it all was a flood.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
No, but still so fulfilled. Because I feel like it's like those rock bottom moments that really show us that people are good.
Absolutely.
Because day to day, you're like,
yeah,
where am I right now? Yes. Like, where have I been condemned to? But it's like those rock bottom, like that COVID, that like when the whole world is just like down and out.
Yep.
And then you're like, oh, okay, like we are inherently good. Like these people are creating spaces of positivity. Like we're going out of our way to do it. Yeah. And we don't see that in the day to day.
Yeah, no, I think we forget that sometimes too. Like we're in such a hard time in our world right now. I think it's really important to remember that. Like people are inherently good. I believe that.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it was, I remember a lot of people at the time being like, yeah, this is, you know, it was a bad time. A lot of people lost their homes. I watched a good girlfriend of mine. Now we're good girlfriends. I didn't even know her at the time very well. I literally watch her house like floating down the river. She had her 2 kids with her and she's just watching her house floating. Like you just see, you know, there's no way to, it helps you prioritize, I think, what's important and who to help and how to help. And people's true colors show, you know, like they just show through. Mm-hmm. And, you know, usually that's good. It's not always good, but more often than not, it's good.
Yeah. And that's what reminds us. That's what helps remind us that like, there's more good out there than there is bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is.
Yeah.
We have to hold on to that. Okay. So how many businesses did you have prior to opening Wild
Palomino? Yeah. Yeah. Palomino. It's a color of a horse. It's a yellow horse, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have to ask that question again. Yeah. I'm not going to keep stuttering on it.
That's okay.
Wild Palomino. Okay. Is anything real? Okay, stop. Okay, so Rebecca, how many businesses did you have prior to opening Wild Palomino?
I had one before that. So the yoga studio was the first one. That was called Lions Yoga Studio, and I rebranded to Namaste Lions.
That's cute.
Namaste. Namaste, bitches. You have to cut that in. Sorry.
I wanted to so bad. I had to let it happen. I was like, yes, I like where this is going.
Yes. So yeah, they were the first, or that was the first one. My yoga studio was the first one. And then Wild Palomino has gone through a lot of iterations of like names, and I had a couple business partners for a while. But I opened it in 2011 when I was working in biotech. And it had gone through periods of like being really big and like a full blown agency, and being really small and just a 1-person consulting business. Mm-hmm.
Wait, I'm going to pause you right there real quick. 2 questions before we go on. First, what's Palomino? Mm-hmm. And then second, tell the audience real quick what the business actually is and what it offers. Okay. And then we'll go into like the story.
Yeah. So Wild Palomino. So I named it after my horse. I have a horse who's a Palomino, which is a color for a horse. She's yellow. She's blonde, basically. She's a blondie. And there's like paints and there's bays and all kinds of different colors of horses. And so I named it after her. Her name's Soleil. She is sassy. She's a sassy girl. She's great. And it's, you know, I think wildness for me, when I rebranded this last time to Wild Palomino, it was like, I felt really good about it because I think that there's a need to be wild, you know, like wild is bold and wild is out there, and we pay attention to wild, you know, and we all have it in us a little bit. We need to be a little feral. And she is.
She is.
So I named it after her. But so Wild Palomino, we're a small consulting agency. And I say small because we kind of we stay within the bounds of a particular size, but we scale as we need to. Over 15 years or so, I've made a really strong network of people that work as individual freelancers. So I swarm them when we have needs for them. So if I have a client that has something really specific, like I know exactly who's going to be great for them. And it helps because it cuts down overhead. And it supports their small business, facilitates their small business. It helps the client because they're getting really good people for much more efficient budget. And I believe in that because, I serve a small business and we need to kind of stick together and help each other grow. But so we do a lot of business growth services. So everything from marketing can mean so many different things these days, like so many things. It can be social media, it can be your website, it can be everything.
I'm really talking to people. Expert marketer. By my course, I'm a guru, but all you've done is have conversations. And it's like, I need a little more than that. But yeah, it could be so many things.
Yeah. Yeah. We, for me, it's, we have a kind of a split model. So we do business growth coaching. So I work with business owners directly and, we plan and strategize and re-strategize and hone in on roadmaps to grow their business, basically. So that can be capacity growing. It can be revenue growing. It can be all kinds of things depending upon what they need. But at the end of the day, growth is really where we're at. We want to make small businesses thrive. And I love it. Small business owners are the best. Like they are so bold. It takes a certain person.
Yes. To do that.
Yeah. 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 And I love that.
You forego your 9 to 5 for like a 24/7.
Absolutely.
And then like all of your ideas are like, this is probably a good idea. So let me just do it. Yep. And then it's like, whatever sticks.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep trying.
Yeah. Exactly. A lot of businesses have that. And like, one of the big things that we try to do is we bring experience and knowledge into that. So we can kind of say, hey, this approach is great, but it's probably not going to get you more revenue. And so let's cut out the effort there and we'll redirect that effort over here, because we've done it so long. We know what works. We know what doesn't work. And I think especially for small business, there's like a real personal piece to it, like people have blocks when they're running their business. And a lot of our work is getting over and through those blocks. And it's like, it's a lot of his personal growth work. It's like, what's holding you back or what are you afraid of or where don't you want to go, and really kind of getting clear on that. And it's been pretty cool to see some of those transformations.
And that's also why so many people don't start. Like they'll have that business in their brain for like 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years. But they're like, this block will not allow me to push through.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to be a company that realizes that and that has worked with that and that understands that, like, I can hold your hand through this. Let's walk through this first block and then we can keep going.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite parts. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite parts. There's a like my closest friend would tell you that I'm like, I can be a bulldog. I'm trying to find a nicer way to put it. I can be a boss bitch. That's a bit for everybody. But I will hold you to account, if you've got a block that you want to look at. And I'll do it in a kind way. But we're going to do it.
Yeah, we're going to get there.
You said you wanted to grow. You want to be here. Like always start with where you want to be, always.
Do you ever encounter clients that like refuse to like get past certain blocks?
I've definitely encountered, yeah. There have been times where sometimes it's just too big, and so we have to like dig a trench around it, and we'll go a different way. That happens. Not very often though. I think the biggest transformations are the ones where they're like, oh my God, I am scared of this, and usually it's, I'm afraid to try and fail. Like that's the biggest thing. I guess
it's
like
fair. Yeah, well, fail.
Yeah. Who wants to try and fail? I mean, if you didn't try and you failed, that's one thing. You haven't like put it all out there. But if you gave it everything you got and you failed, a lot of people think that's the worst thing in the world. It's not. It's not. No, you learn from it and then you go on and you succeed.
Yeah.
You just succeed differently than you thought you were going to.
Yes. Yeah. And I don't think that people think about trying, succeeding, and it not being everything you wanted it to be. Yeah. Like that is so much worse than trying and failing because you're putting all your eggs in this basket because I know it'll get me to where I need to be or where I've envisioned. And then you get there, like you do it and you crush it and you're like, oh,
damn. That's not what I thought it was.
Not at all. Like, damn. So that is bad. That is bad.
Yeah. And I think sometimes you do that and you're like, like this wasn't the top. This was like the foothill. I see more now,
Yes.
Like I see somebody else I could serve, or I see something else that could serve the world, or I see another problem that we can solve, and then it becomes a step rather than an unfulfillment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool to see that part.
Yeah.
Because once somebody sees that pattern, then they start making bigger and bigger steps too. And that's like the epitome of success.
Yeah. Because it just pushes you to keep climbing.
Yeah. Yep.
And it feels good to like get to a horizon that you've never seen before. And you're like, oh, I need to see more. Like I gotta start running now. Like I really need to see. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yep. One of the things I love about Colorado is there's a lot of mountains there. Mm-hmm. And there's a series of mountains that are over 14,000 feet. There's 53 mountains in Colorado. They're over 14,000 feet tall. And a lot of people try to like climb all these mountains. And that's like a goal they have. And it'll take them 10 years or whatever to climb them. But most of those mountains have false summits, where like you've been hiking for 3 or 4 hours and you're like, oh man, I can see the top. And you get to what you think's the top. It is not the top. You're like, oh my God. It is not so much more to go. Sometimes it goes down before you get to, there's a saddle in the mountain before you get to the top. And you're like, oh damn. But, but once you do it a few times and you realize that, then you like pace yourself. You're like, well, that's like a vista point. I can see the top from there. That's awesome. Can't wait to get there and see what else is there. And like, I want to celebrate. I just made, 12,500 feet at this point. And I think it's a good analogy for, what you can do in business too. Like,
absolutely.
There's false summits all the time, but they're not really false. They're just a stepping stone summit.
Because you are still higher than where you were before.
Yeah. And you can see better.
You can see
and
better.
You can actually see the top.
Yeah, you're just getting closer and closer.
Yeah. Sometimes you can see the top and a whole mountain range behind it.
Yes. Yes.
Just to be super cheesy about it, but it's true.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah. I have one of my clients right now is he's an entrepreneur that totally started something because he just loves it, and he is like the top in the world at what he does now. And he, it's been the case over the last 15 years or so, that those stories are pretty cool to me.
Yeah. Just because it's all rooted in passion.
Yeah.
And like you just ran alongside your passion.
Yeah. Like he was just like, I think this would be cool to do. I'm going to try this. And then it worked. And he's like, oh, maybe I'll try it some more. And then it worked. And then he's like, I think I'll quit my job and do this full time. Yeah. And it really worked, and now he's literally like, offers the best of his product line in the world. Like that's cool.
That's so cool.
It's brave too, like you have to take risks to leave a job, to invest time and money, all of it. But I think you gotta have 2 feet in, to go for it. And that's thrilling.
Yes. Yes. And like even if you do air quotes fail, because fail could be, a lot of times we think something's a failure and it's really not. Let's call a spade a spade. Yeah. But even if you do fail, like we don't focus on how much you learned about yourself, the process, your like how much passion you really have that's associated with it. Like you learned so much from the failure. It's like, can you even really call it that? Like, can you really, if you zoom out of this and take out everything you learned and write a list of it, like you can't call it a failure. You can't, there's no way. It doesn't make sense. It's an oxymoron. I think about that all the time.
No, I love that. I totally agree. I've got another client, and they offer, they're in Colorado, and they offer like adventure experiences. Like they like designed adventure for people, and groups come on rivers with them. They do pack rafting. And can I say a
Yeah.
no, okay.
Say anything.
Okay, awesome.
Everything.
Yeah, they're called Four Corners Guides, and they're near Durango, Colorado. And the CEO of the company is a woman, and she's another like total boss babe. And she was like, when we started working together, she was a little bit afraid to like really work more on sales. Like it was a little bit like what we're talking about. It was a little bit of fear of putting it out there and it not working. And once she put both feet in, she doubled her business last year. Like she's amazing, and she's really skilled at what she does, you know. And sometimes it's like we have the capability, we have the skill to really do it, but it's just that little fear block that's there that somebody needs to come along and like pluck it out just for a second and say, just try it, you know, and just do it. And then guide a little bit along the way. But those are cool. Those are very gratifying to see when that happens. Like, this is why we do what we do.
Right. This is why it's worth the pushing through the fear.
Yep.
Because like moments like that, like if you really push through and you really put your all in it, you can get to the other side. Yeah. And like, not to bring this to gender, but I'm going to bring this to gender for a second. Yeah. It's such a different, because it's a fact. It's different. It's a different world walking through the world as a woman than it is a man. Absolutely. So like, there's like an added layer of like, I can't do this because of my gender, which sounds so dumb, and we shouldn't think this way, but we grew up in the society that we grew up in. So sometimes it's hard like there's like this added bonus of like, all right, well, it's not just fear, it's also the fact that like I cannot do this, like I cannot be as successful as XYZ. And then like feeling like telling that voice that like you're incorrect and like I can do this even though like, and then succeeding.
Absolutely. 100%. I agree completely. I work with a lot of women-owned businesses specifically. I work with men too, but majority is women. And it's my favorite. Yeah. It's my favorite. Because, you know, I believe like, I think that in order to be a successful female business owner, a lot of times we think either we have to work so much harder or we have to force our way, you know, because, and not to like, I'm going to speak in generalities. In general, men are physically stronger and their demeanor tends to be a little bit more like, I just kind of come in and own the room. And it's, I mean, we love that about men. I love that about men, but we're different, you know, like we're built different. And this is, you know, again, I'm generalizing a little bit here, but I think there's a softness that women can have that is so powerful and really has influence in a completely different way, in a good way, that I've seen succeed time and time again. And I see a lot of female business owners who identify as, you know, female and feminine, try to squelch that and try to be something a little different in order to succeed. And like, it is just such a gift, you know, like the connection that you can make as with a soft feminine is huge. It's huge. The trust you can instill, the way you can use words, all of that is such a strength. And it's cool to me to watch women still like totally have power, but have power in a whole different way, and to really help them serve their customers or their clients in a way that they like super connect. It's just a deeper connection, I think.
Yeah.
We're built for that.
That's literally what it is. Like, we don't have to, I was talking to a friend of mine about like, I'm reading The Art of Seduction. Well, let me not lie. I started reading The Art of Seduction and then I was like, let me not lie again. Okay. So I listen to audiobooks because I can't focus when I read. Like a physical book. It's so hard for me. My brain is everywhere. I'm thinking about plans for this weekend. I'm like, girl, you're reading right now. Anyways, so I started the audiobook of Art of Seduction, but then I realized like some books you can't just audiobook, like you have to like have the book in front of you, like so I can like really dive into it. The Art of Seduction is that for me, so I stopped reading it. But like that book is very much about like finding your power as a woman and like what that is and what that looks like. And I think a lot of us as women, we think of power as like what it traditionally is, like hard and force and like brunt force and like just whatever, just tough. But like a lot of us don't realize that like our power is different.
Yes.
And I think my opinion is that our power is a little stronger. Because softness, there's so much value in softness. But we're not taught to fall into that. We're not taught to fall into that.
We're not taught. And sometimes I think we confuse it with weakness, or we confuse it with being walked on. We can still be strong, and we can still say what needs to be said and then still hold that softness at the same time. That is powerful. That is like,
that's when you got it. Like,
that's
you know,
when you got it.
Yeah, you know what you're doing, girl.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Oh my God. Okay. Cowgirl Up. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Tell the audience what Cowgirl Up is.
Cowgirl Up Horses is a transport company.
Mm-hmm.
And we serve horses, cows, pigs, goats, sheep, dogs, cats, emus. I've had requests for zebras and camels. What else is crazy?
Oh my God.
Zubus, which are like, do you know what they are?
No, but I love them
so
already.
Cute.
I love it.
They're so cute. Zubu. It's like a little miniature cow looking thing. What else? All kinds of things. All kinds of things. I didn't know what an emu was before this.
Okay, so wait. Somebody like I say, hey Rebecca, I need 13 Zubus.
Yep.
And you're like, gotcha. Be there next week. Like, what happened?
Yeah. So it's all transport.
Okay.
And so it can be for lots of different reasons. It can be for sales, for farm moves, families moving somewhere, auctions, adoptions. We do a lot of work with rescues. We go into kill pens and we pick up horses that are about to be shipped out for slaughter and bring them to their new homes. all kinds of reasons. But we'll go and we will pick up the animals and we will load them and care for them on the road and take them to their destination and give them safe landing and safe delivery. And it's really rewarding. You see a lot of the country. I was the only driver as I started this from the ground up with no capital. It was all sweat equity. And literally drove around the country in my F-150 with a 2-horse stock trailer that I found in Oklahoma that had been rebuilt. It's been rebuilt a lot of times, thanks to a lot of friends, a lot of people. My boyfriend has fixed that thing probably 4 different times on the side of the highway. I've been saying, there's so many. Anyway, it has been built from the ground up, and it's really rewarding. Having animals can be really nervous when they are broken out of their patterns. And it's really good for them to be broken out of their patterns. But, there's a way to kind of help them along. And that's why we started it. I actually started because I wanted to bring my horse out here to spend a couple of years back out in Massachusetts to be closer to family. And I just didn't trust anybody to take my horse. I was like, no, she's going to be so nervous. You don't know how to scratch her nose the way she likes. It's important. And that's literally how it started. I saw kind of a need for like softer care, I think, for them. And that's what we pride ourselves on. That's what we do. And so I started a couple of years ago. Now I am mostly running the business aspect of it. So we create a really good reputation. We have really good reviews. We've got a lot of happy people. We have worked with several animal rescues to pick up animals. And my other business is marketing, so I know how to get the word out. Yeah. And so we have requests all week, every week around the country. And we're still growing, I'm still only 2 or so years in. But I act essentially as a broker now. So I pair the right client with the right transporter that I know. And I'll create a route for a trip and it will serve everybody. Usually they're shared trips, so it's less expensive for the client, but they're shared trips, so it's more efficient for the transporter. So they do well, the client does well. It's kind of a win-win for everybody. But a lot of people don't go to kill pens. Kill pens are tough.
What exactly is a kill pen?
So there's slaughtering horses in the United States for food or medicinal purposes is not legal, but it is legal in Canada and Mexico right now.
Okay. And
so kill pens are basically holding areas for horses that are going to slaughter. Yep. And it happens for all different reasons. Like sometimes, really like well-performing horses who have raced, horses who have showed, who have jumped, all kinds of things. Like just a series of circumstances. An owner passed away, or the horse was sold to the wrong person, or ultimately the horse can't be cared for, isn't being cared for, and goes to auction and is purchased by, it's a little somber, but it's real. It's purchased by a meat buyer. And usually the meat buyers kind of spend the least amount at an auction and kind of take the horses that are not wanted. And oftentimes they will bring them to a kill pen, and that kill pen works with other organizations to find potential adopters for the horse. And if the adopter can basically post bail, which essentially means pay more than the meat buyer is going to pay, then everybody's happy. Meat buyer has more for that horse than he would have otherwise. Kill pen no longer has to care for the horse. Adoption agency helps somebody, not adoption agency, a rescue helps pair the horse with somebody. And so horse rescues are huge, and there's a lot of people that are really passionate about it, and there's a lot of horses. But oftentimes, like there's big ones. There's several in Texas, but there's one in particular in Texas that I go to a lot. And, to go, you walk in and a lot of these animals aren't going to make it. Sometimes there's babies there. I mean, yeah. And so, being able to go to those it's tough. You have to be able to go, really look at the ones you're saving, know you're saving them, get them in. At that point, oftentimes they're really scared. They don't handle well. They don't load in the trailer well. There's all kinds of stuff. And they're traumatized, and so it just takes certain care. They can be infected. It's communicable diseases among horses, is a real thing. There's something called strangles, which is kind of like strep throat. But it can kill a horse. So you have to be really careful. You have to keep, horses separated. So if a horse comes from a kill pen, they need to be quarantined, for a certain period of time to be safe around other horses. And if they're in our trailers, we completely disinfect, bleach everything to make sure that the trailer's safe too. We have a designated trailer. And so, there's all kinds of things like that, but a lot of people won't touch that. And we want to help that. We really want to get horses out of kill pens and in homes, or, outside of homes, but just outside of homes, not in the living room.
Wow.
So we have a lot of trainers that transport for us, all women right now, which I love.
Yeah.
We're called Cowgirl Up, and that name came from, I went through, as we all do, pretty hard time in my life, went through a very hard divorce. And at one point I had to be like, all right, I gotta buck up. I gotta move forward. I have to get my life together. And I was, at the time, the majority of my time was on the western slope of Colorado. And there's a lot of cowgirls, a lot of cowboys there. I'm not one. I'm not a real cowgirl. Man, those girls are tough. They are good. Yeah. Oh, I can't call myself one. But it was like cowboy up.
Yeah.
Well, all right, how about cowgirl up? Get your shit together, girl. Get your shit together and let's go.
We got to do this.
We got to do this. Yeah. Yeah. Get through the hard time, get back in the saddle and go, basically.
I think my husband's a cowboy. What are your thoughts on that? I've never met a cowboy before, but I've been watching Yellowstone.
Yes.
And I just feel like he's
yes. He's got the cowboy.
He's a cowboy. He has a hat and he wears cowboy boots and he's a big burly man.
Amazing. Yeah, he sounds like a cowboy.
Yeah, he's hello.
I think there are two kinds of cowboys. There's somebody who is an inner cowboy because they just have the energy of cowboy, and then there's somebody that actually wrangles cows and stuff.
I had to figure out what cowboy. Oh my gosh, horses fascinate me.
Yeah,
so fascinating.
They're amazing animals.
I've never been on a horse.
Have you petted one or been around one?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to do it.
Yeah.
I do. It's in my heart. I've been on a camel, but not a horse, which is kind of... Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, in Mexico. Oh, wow. So you think I can do a horse? Have you been on a camel?
I've never been on a camel.
They're really, really high.
Yeah, it's very high.
Okay, but my thing is the root of my trauma when it comes to horses. There's an inkling of trauma there.
Yes.
Because the horse is the only thing that took down Superman. The real Superman.
The horse took down Superman?
Dude, the real Superman, and I grew up watching the real Superman because my older brother was into it. He was riding a horse and he got trampled by the horse. That's why he was paralyzed from his neck down.
I forgot that completely.
What? Rebecca, come on.
That's a reasonable reason for trauma. I can see that. I understand.
So now when I see them, these are such beautiful, majestic creatures, but
very powerful.
Very, very powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think a horse has major strengths that needs to be respected for sure.
Yes.
100%. They're at least 1,200 pound, if not a 1,500 or 800 pound animal. They're big.
And they're fast. And they're
fast.
And they're I've never been around a horse, but a lot of TV shows and stuff, they'll always say a horse can read your energy.
Oh yeah.
So you have to be
yes. 100%. 100%.
Oh Lord.
Yes. Yeah, they can. They really can. And they teach you what you need to know. I remember somebody telling me that once and being like, that is bull. I don't know what you're talking about. But it is so true.
They won't tell me anything. But then you meet your horse and you're like, yeah.
True. Yeah, they teach you what you need to know. Horse feels, 1,500 animal feels a fly land on its back every single time. They're super sensitive. You can... I've worked with a couple of trainers that are just really all women. They're just really, they are gifted. They have figured out how to not communicate with, yes, communicate, but they communicate through their energy. A horse can feel you breathe 100%. And if you're on their back and you're tense, they can feel it. If you do one of these, they totally feed it back to you. It's really kind of amazing. And there's a confidence. Ironically, my horse, Soleil, the wild Palomino named one, the Sass, she is the worst loader I have ever met in my life. Out of all the horses I have loaded, she is by far the worst loader. It has taken me 6 hours to get that horse in a trailer before. It is really, really hard. It was before I started Cowgirl Up. It was part of what I really needed to learn. She taught me what I need to know, though, because now I go and I load horses that will not load. They will not. They absolutely will not get a trailer. I can get them in the trailer. And it's what she taught me. It really is. She's a lot better now, but now she's an okay loader. But she taught me how to do it. It was horses are herd animals, and they're used a lot in leadership and teaching leadership. And it's because of the way that they operate. If you see horses in a field and you crinkle a wrapper and one of them hears it, puts his head up, they probably don't all hear it, probably the one closest, but the rest of them are so tied in to the herd that all of them will put their head up and turn in the same direction because they are connected and they follow leadership. They follow influence when influence is confident. And that's like, it's 100% about that for horses. If you have the most nervous horse and you approach that horse with like this is the direction we're going in, and you think about your energy going in that direction, more often than not, that horse will follow you because it feels that like that little feeling of confidence that you have to like fake it till you make it sometimes. That's what you grow. And and you get that feedback immediately back from horses. They're amazing. If you question yourself, if you don't have good intent, like it's different. They can totally read that.
Oh my goodness.
You have good heart. This horse is not going to trample you. I don't know what Superman did, but he did something. He messed up.
There was something afoot there. I don't know what happened.
He made a mistake. The horse is like,
get off me. Get off me. Okay, so I have to ask you our closing question.
Yeah.
I don't want to yet, but I have to.
Yes.
Okay, I asked all my guests this.
Yeah.
I created this platform so people could learn, like about themselves, about the world, just learn, because it's so important to me. So I need to know from you, what is something that you wish more people knew? And it can have to do with you, it can have to do with the world, it can have to do with horses. What's something that you just wish more people knew?
It's a good one. I might need a second.
I need a second. A second. Somebody asked me if it isn't live. I was like, this could never be.
No.
Never.
I've tried not to drop any F-bombs. I think I didn't. I was like, on the way here, I'm like, don't do it. I have a trucker mouth.
I was a pirate in a last world.
Okay.
I swear to you.
Excellent.
My sister's like, you need to change that. Like, you have such a better vocabulary. I'm like, Ashley, I really fucking don't. Leave me alone. Oh, it's so bad. So bad.
I think, like I said earlier, I think the world's in kind of a tough place right now for a lot of different reasons. And we've been in tough places before. But I think something that I've learned in business and personal, and something that I continue to learn, I have not mastered this. I work on it every single day. But something that if this could spread to anybody and everybody, I think, for us to really tap into what feels right, and to gather that inner confidence and lead by example and show rather than condemn or blame or type or whatever, to show the way that we feel like it should be. I think that's really the key. If we can be what we're saying that it should look like, then that's going to make a huge world of difference. And it's the same with business, same with getting a horse in the trailer. It's the same with everything. It's like, if we can embody what we think it should be like, then it's going to change, and I think it's going to change for the better. And that's what I would say. I think that's what I would want.
Just be whatever it is that you want the world to, like, literally be that, like, be that person that you want the world to be.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a saying that's been around for a long time, but be the change that you seek. I think there's so much attack right now, and it happens everywhere. It happens at Bev, people that are my clients are worried about tariffs, all kinds of stuff, everything that's happening right now. We can get so distracted, and we can, spend our energy in a way that doesn't actually change anything. And I think if we're able to really embody the good that we're trying to do, again, I believe people are good, then I think that things can start to shift for us.
Yes, I agree 100%. That's so, yes. Yeah. We forget that a lot, though.
We forget it. Yeah.
You do.
We're in a very attacking time right now in a lot of different ways. And I'm not saying that it's not warranted, but at the end of the day, what do you want the outcome to be?
Right.
How do you get there? How do you actually change it? I think the more that we're able to be and lead by example, the stronger. Example is the strongest way to lead. It really is. It's never.
Because you can talk the talk.
You
should be doing this, you should be doing that. Yeah, but you're not doing it. So why would I do it?
You can talk, you can correct, you can point out things, all those things. And I'm not saying that's bad, but it doesn't really do what we need it to do. If I'm leading a company and I've got a staff who's not doing what I need them to do, like, I need to look at myself, am I showing them? I doing it? Are they seeing it? And it's just, I think it's just the most effective way to do it, So don't forget to be the way you think it should be.
Be the change.
Be the change. Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Good. That's so good.
Yeah,
that question always you guys always nail it. I'm always just like, dang.
I'm like, I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know, but I do really believe that.
No, that's, I love that. Oh, what am I doing? Can you tell people how to connect with you?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, yo, what? Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. Yes. Go try to say my website.
Yeah. Okay. So let people know. Some people do Instagrams. A lot of people do LinkedIn's. Just your website. Definitely the website for Wild Palomino and Cowgirl Up.
Yeah. To connect with me for marketing, business development, business growth, you can reach me at Wild Palomino. My website's www.wild-palomino.com. And my horse transport company, Cowgirl Up Horses, we can be reached at www.cowgirluphorses.com. We're on Facebook. We are on Instagram. And I love people. I love to connect. So reach out.
Yeah, that's good. Like a little commercial. Thanks for watching Through with a Splash of Tea. You can catch new episodes every Wednesday and Thursday on all streaming platforms. Bye now.